is. And the features and functionality you're going to see today, even though it applies really, really well for a COVID type environment, but we want you to take away the thinking of COVID and think about in terms of accountability. That's what Smart Classrooms is all about, is making sure teachers are accountable, making sure students are accountable, making sure parents are accountable. So when you're working in a blended learning environment, or you're working in an environment which is a flipped classroom environment where you need to send work home and you want to keep track of that work, whether it's being participated in, Smart Classrooms is the way to go. It's not a learning management system. It's a way of building a lesson and building a digital, engaging, creative lesson, but at the same time keeping accountability. What's the point of having the greatest lesson if you don't know if they've participated and how they've participated? So that's what Smart Classrooms is all about. Now, Smart Classrooms is part of TV for Education, and TV for Education is the largest educational content database, we believe, in the world. As of June 2020, it had over 160,000 digital video records across every curriculum, every outcome, and for every year level. And not only that, if you could not find something you wanted, you could put in a request and we will find it for you within 48 hours. And we just wouldn't find you one, we'll find you dozens of resources to match whatever topic it is. And everything you get from us is quality, ad-free, and you can use your own content in it as well. So it's part of TV for Education. Not only that, but if your school was using an Australian-made library solution compared to all our foreign competitors, it's Smart Suite and it's all totally integrated. Now, when you're looking at your OPAC or inquiry screen, there's your results, okay? However, if you try to participate in any digital objects that was created at your school, we want to make sure that other schools and other organizations and other people outside of your school cannot steal your thoughts and steal your intellectual property and your ideas. So we make sure that if you try to engage in a digital item in your school, it'll tell you you have to be logged in. Okay, so you have to be a member of the school. So you click in the sign in and you'll put in your username and password and you decide your username and password. And if you're single sign on, it can also be integrated with single sign on. Now, once you've signed into the system, then and only then do you have access to all the digital content that you've selected, that you've added, and any classroom material that you have created. Okay, so if you click that same video, instead of getting a message saying that it's not available, the video will automatically start playing. Now, let's deal with this particular video before we go into the classrooms. This might just be a pretty awesome video that you want your kids to see. And you don't want to go ahead and create a smart classroom lessons for it. You just want them to watch that video. And we're talking about tracking student engagement. So if you have any videos on your system, whether you've got the videos from TV for Education or you put them there yourself, we give you unlimited storage. The school has unlimited storage, students have unlimited storage, teachers have unlimited storage. Unlike our competitors, you won't get error messages that, oh, you've run out of space, you got to go and delete some stuff. Our attitude is never, ever delete anything, because Murphy's Law, the day you delete something, the next day you'll realize, oh, I wanted it. So leave it there. So if you've got a video and you want your students to watch it, instead of telling them, okay, I would like you to watch ABC1, This Place, Artist Series, Yvonne Kulmetri, instead of giving them all that information and they misspell, mistype, and then don't find it, the better way is to click on that share link, okay, and then choose the year level you want to give it to. Oh, I want to give it to my year 8s, and the URL will get reloaded because it will tailor that URL for a year 8. You just highlight that with your mouse, okay, all the way to the end. And then what you do is you right click, go copy, okay, and now you can email that to anyone. Okay, I'm just going to put it into my browser to show you the impact that it will have for the students. So when they go ahead and they click on it, because you've emailed them. Now, you might not have emailed it to them. You might have put it into a learning management system. You might put it into a digital repository at your school that your school uses. But what will happen is the instant that you copy that URL and you deliver it to them, when they click on it, and if they're not a year 8 student, because I said this is for year 8, it wouldn't play. If they give it to someone else in another school, it will not play because it's the school's intellectual property. So it'll only play for people at your school on your school network. Now, they might be at home. And so if they're not on the school network, it'll say, I don't know who you are. Can you just give me your username and password? And when they put that in, it will play. Okay. Now, the beauty about that URL is we're talking about tracking students' engagement. We have reports that will tell you which student clicked on that link and played it. We'll tell you when they clicked on that link and played it. And we'll tell you how many times they've clicked on that link and played it. So when you have situations like parent-teachers night and you put material up there, it may not have been a video, it might have been a Word document, it might have been a PowerPoint presentation, it might have been a video, a Word document, and a PowerPoint presentation all in one. And you want to know, did they open it? We have reports on our reports module. So if you click on here, you go down to reports. In our reports module, we have very detailed reports to track who was engaged with that and how it worked. So that's one of the big advantages of all the content on the system. Okay, and so we keep accountability on the usage. So from a flipped classroom environment, you got parent teachers night, and you've got parents complaining that you don't teach, you don't set homework, you don't engage in discussions or whatever. If you put all the information up on a record, that's how you can track it. Now, a student can come along and say, oh, I've just did a search on my library system and I've looked at some material. I'd like this video, or I'd like this video, and I would like to take it home. So if you've got students in your school and they want to just get involved, now we're not talking about tracking their engagement, but we're talking about encouraging them to get engaged. And they go, but I don't have internet at home. That shouldn't be an inhibiting factor, because every student can click on the I for information for any content that's here, and when they bring the information up, it'll give them a whole synopsis about that video, and there's always going to be a URL, and at the end of the URL there is a download button. So every student can click on that download button, and guess what? It will download the video for them. Now, they might be on their mobile phone, might be on an iPad, Android pad. We couldn't care less. When we play a video up here and when we bring any information up here, we will guarantee to make sure that that video will always play wherever. In this case, the students got a copy of it, and everything we do is industry standard MPEG-4. So if a student was writing an assignment about a particular topic and they found content within the library system that backs up, or they get given a reference list of material that's on there, one of the advantages is that they can download it, and because it's MPEG-4, they can use any editor to edit whatever sections they want of that video and attach it to their assignment when they upload it, because it backs up their argument in their assignment. All legal and covered by copyright and covered by TV for Education licensing for the entire school. Okay. Now, what happens if I've got a video but I want to build a lesson around it? And by building a lesson, we're talking about, I want the kids to watch this video and then I want to put questions up there. And by putting questions up, I want to make sure that they understand the topic. So I'm going to frame my questions in such a way that will give me an indication whether they understood the topic that I was trying to communicate. So for the teachers, we have a Smart Lessons module. And so when you click on here, you'll have a Smart Classrooms module down there, and then you've got Create a Lesson. So you can go to create a lesson, and it's almost the sky's the limit on what lessons you create, how many lessons you create, and what topics and videos you put in the lesson, and what questions you put against that lesson. And then tracking who was engaged with that. So let me go here and let's say maths. And this is for my year 8s, and you can put a description in here. Maths using 4 digits, and then I'll save that lesson. So you can go in and you can create any topic, and you can put in any description about it. You can have 2 words, 2 paragraphs, 2 pages of description. But once you go into the lesson, you can add resources and you can add questions. So if I want to add resources, I will just go add resources. So you can add TV for Education content, curated YouTube content. That's YouTube content that we keep track of what everybody else is using. Normal YouTube content. You can upload your own files. You can even upload documents, PowerPoint presentations, any URL effectively, including websites, and you can put text. So I'm going to go to TV for Education, and I'm going to do a search of maths. So when I go and search for maths within TV for Education, all the videos, and because TV for Education is such an exhaustive and massive database, over 160,000 items, you can go, I want to add that video to my lesson. There it is. And I'm going to add another resource. So you can go down here and add a second resource. And I want to add another resource. Click in here and keep going. And you can go ahead and you can say, I want to add that video. Now, the problem with these videos is that if that was the lesson and I saved it, when the student plays the video, this is what's going to happen. The video is going to come up and it's going to play, and you can see it's 24 minutes. And the student can fast forward and try and find what the topic is you're talking about, go backwards, go forwards. But you go, I don't want to waste time, and I don't want them wasting time, so I'm going to edit that video. Now the students don't get any of these buttons on the side of the screen. They just get video, 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 and that's it. So they can just go ahead and press the play button. So when I press play, the video loads, it goes to the start. If you had to look at the performance bar, and starts playing. But I'm the teacher and I want a particular topic in that video, so I'm going to clip that video. Now I know you've never edited a video before, and editing a video can be very complex. Not with Smart Classrooms. You just click on the scissors, the video will come up, and the editor will be at the bottom, and you can press play and the video will start playing. Go to wherever you think you want to be in that video and go start of my edit. That's what that is. That's the start of my edit, and that's the end of my edit. So you can let the video play. When it gets to the end of the cut that you want, go yep, that's the end of my cut. And then just give that cut a name. And in this case, I'm going to call that cut Chapter 1 and go create a chapter. And there it is. It starts from 6:05 minutes, goes to 7:48 minutes, and it'll play. Now I can go to another section of that video and I go, that's the start of my cut, and that's the end of my cut. And the chapter name is not Chapter 2. Please pay attention, and I go create that chapter. So now I've got a video with 2 sections in there, and I'll close. Okay. Now, if I'd saved that as a lesson and just continued on and gave it to a student, which we'll deal with in a minute, how are the students going to play that video? You can put a hint about what that video is about, or the student just clicks on it and plays it. Now watch what happens with the performance bar in the video. Remember, the performance bar comes along here and tells you how far they are. So when they click the video will come up, it will load, and it will automatically fast forward to the clip. It'll play that clip, then it'll fast forward to the next clip and play that clip. So that's the beauty of them. You're keeping it focused for the students. However, the student might be an advanced student and say, I would like context of that. So they can click on that, and they can go anywhere in the video, and they can start playing that video from wherever they like. They can even go into the middle. They can play any other section of that video. Okay, so they can go ahead and they can play that video. Now, if they'd like to add, if the teacher would like to add some question and answers to make sure that they comprehend what they've got, I want to add a question. When they add a question, they can go, what is division? And they can put in their answers here. And okay, so the answer could, if I just put some information here, they can say, that's my answer, 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 that's my answer. But really, only this one's correct and this one's correct. Now, I can put a hint for that question. Now, that's a multiple choice question. I could have gone to a yes/no question. So put in a question here and put a hint and then make the answer yes or no and save that. Or find a missing word. I can put a whole paragraph in there and put some missing words in there, and you have to find the missing words. However, when you save that question, and you can have as many questions as you like. So there's the video, and there's a scroll bar. I scroll up and there's the question. You go, yes, but this question applies to this video. So what you can do is you can move that question up, okay? And it's not applied to that one. I can move that up. And now that video and that question goes together. And I can have as many questions as I like. Now, the thing with the questions is that when you put a question in there, you predefine the answer. So the machine knows what the correct answer is. When you put a yes/no question is, you predefine the answer. When you put find the missing word, you predefine the answer. The advantage of that is when you create a lesson with clips of a video and you're predefining the answers, the system can give you a report of all the students that got it correct and all the students that got it wrong. We can give you pie charts, bar charts, we can give you lists, we can give you all the information about the participation of the students in that lesson. But more importantly is, how do I get this lesson to the student? Well, that's easy. Remember when we were in TV for Education, you were able to just create a URL and then put that URL into a learning management system or send it to them via email or whatever. It's exactly the same here. So if you want to track the students' engagement, but you want to share that first, you have to share it to be able to track it. You just click on share, and you can say, I want to share it with everyone, or you can say, no, I want to share it with my year 6s, and it'll give you a URL. You just click on that URL. The link has been copied to your clipboard, and now you can just go into your email system or your learning management system and right click and just paste the lesson, and that lesson will give them a URL that as soon as they click on it, we will actually track who was engaged in that lesson and how many answers they entered, what day they answered it, how often they actually looked at it. So we'll keep track of all their activity on that lesson. From a teacher's point of view, once you've created the lesson, it becomes a digital object in the school. So you can use it next term, next year, and it stays on the school's collection forever. So you can do one of two things. You can make sure it appears up here like all these other lessons, or you can click on My Items. Remember, in your My Items, teachers have unlimited storage and students have unlimited storage. When you go to your My Items, it will show you all the lesson that you've ever created. And of course, you can go into any lesson that you want later on down the track, and you can share those lessons if you wanted to. So the advantage of the My Items is to keep you focused only on the videos that you have added, because if you're at a school that has 50 teachers and all the teachers are adding half a dozen videos or half a dozen lessons every week, you don't want to be going through there and looking and trying to find your content. Click on my items, it'll bring it up here. And even while you're here, you can say, get rid of my TV for education videos, get rid of the YouTube videos, just show me the lessons. And you'll be able to just look at just your lessons. Or you can say, no, I want to have a look at all the YouTube content that I've added. I want to have a look at all my TV for education, but get rid of my lessons and get rid of YouTube. So it'll just show you everything from TV for education. And once you're in TV for education, you could then turn around and say, I want to have a look at this video and I want to share it. So you can do that. Okay? So that's one of the big advantage of your My Items. It lets you believe that you are totally in control of your content. Okay? Whereas on the schools collection, everyone, so if you're from a school of 100 teachers, all 100 teachers' content is on here, including all the library resources. So all the digital content that you would use in teaching will be from here. Now, if you decide that that was a bit fast, I'd like a one-on-one training, or I'd like someone to walk me through a lesson I'm having issues with, or walk me through how to build my first lesson. If you need any help whatsoever, all you need to do once you're logged in, remember, you need to be able to be logged in to be able to get our undivided attention. So once you're logged in, you can click on your menu, you can click on your mailbox. And when you click on your mailbox, this is how you can get support from us. You can click on support tickets. I want to create a ticket, and the ticket will be, can someone please help me to build my first lesson? Or it might be, can someone please help me how to edit? And in here, say, my name is Joan Smith. My phone number, direct number is this. Can you ring me on Thursday after 3 o'clock? Or on Friday at 8 o'clock in the evening, once I've put everybody down, I'm quiet and I want to now go through a lesson building exercise. You can put in any kind of request and you hit that little paper rocket there and we'll respond to you and walk you through all the assistance you want. There is absolutely no limit to the content that you can put onto your school's collection. It's absolutely unlimited for the school, it's unlimited for the teacher, it's unlimited for the individual student as well. There is no limit on the help that you can ask for. And if you're trying to teach a particular topic and you go in here into Smart Classrooms, and I'm deliberately going to put some rubbish in here, okay, because I want the answer to come up. I could not find this, okay. So if you typed in history, okay, it'll come up with all the history videos, and you can just keep scrolling and more history videos and more history videos. Or you can say, no, I want to search by subject. So you can choose the subject that you want and then go down an area here and choose the sub-subjects and then scroll through there. Or if you go in here and you put in a topic, okay, remember I said I'm deliberately putting in rubbish for a reason, because I want to come up and saying I did not find anything. So when you put in a legitimate topic and you can't find anything, go into my request, because you want to build a Smart Classrooms lesson and then track an engagement for your students, but it's a very specific topic, a very specific curriculum code, a very specific curriculum outcome. So you would go into TV for education, you go, I want to make a request, and put in a topic request and tell us the year level you want it for, the curriculum code if you've got one, the subject area, what your aim of the lesson is, give us a bit more information, go submit. And within 48 hours, we will come back to you with a list of resources to cover the topic that you've put in. So as far as Smart Classrooms is concerned, it's not just for a situation like COVID. It's for the teacher of tomorrow, the teacher that's working in a flipped classroom environment, the teacher that's working in a blended environment, and to keep track of all the students' engagement. So you can hold them accountable and hold the parents accountable for participating in the learning experience of their children. Thank you very much to be able to present Smart Classrooms and student engagement.